So this is a tutorial on secure mode. Secure mode is for connecting to sites securely over a VPN. There's no port forwards on public IPs and things like that. It's the most recommended way to connect to devices that would be considered like poor cybersecurity. So cheap NVRs, cheap camera systems that can't be trusted to be left onto the web where they could be hacked. So this device yesterday we set up with light mode, so we're going to set up with secure now. So just click onto this. We can see the port forwards for the light mode. We go into the wizard, we select secure. Now it's going to basically ask us a few questions about how to connect, how the VPN should work. These are simple but rather important subtleties between them. So we'll click yes just to get the easy way through. So first question we get asked is, do we want to run basically a layer 3 or layer 2 VPN? At present, the tutorial or the wizard will only allow you to use a layer 3 VPN. Layer 2 VPNs will appear in Q1 2021. So we're just going to pick layer 3 for the moment. This for layer 3 is slightly important. When you connect to a site, there are two ways you can connect. It's basically called a NATed mode or a rooted mode. There's a subtle importance that's really important. If you connect with rooted mode, and that's pretty much the way you should always go. Sorry, if you connect with NATed mode, it's pretty much the way you should always go, because what we do is we provide like a 192.168.196 is the IP range that you'll be able to access everything on your LAN network. So irrespective of what IP range your LAN network is on, you'll get to everything through 196. The reason for doing this is because what you'll often find is when you go to connect, you'll be connecting, say, from your home network, which could be 192.168.1.1. And if you try and route to a device on your remote network, which is also on 192.168.1.1, your phone simply, or your computer simply won't be able to route to it, because it will see two of the networks with the same ranges. It won't know how to get there. So for vast majority of people, when you're just accessing cameras, you want to be going in the NATed mode, because this is just going to do away with all those issues. There are some scenarios where you want to use active FTP connections, particularly where you need to have a rooted mode. Now, there really are in the minority. Very few people need these days. So basically pick this one, because this is going to be the most user-friendly one and give you the least amount of trouble. So this just basically explains what I basically said. So for example, if your camera was on 192.168.1.10 on your local network, you're going to get to it through the VPN on 192.196.10. So whatever you have in the .1 network, from we've got .10, .100, whatever, it will map correspondingly to here on the 196 to 10, 100, whatever. You don't need to set up anything. It's all done automatically. It's a 1-for-1 NAT, and that will pretty much remove any issues. We picked this range simply because this is really unused. There isn't anybody kind of using that as a default on their routers that we know of. So once we get to this point, we just basically confirm the configuration, and what happens now is basically it'll take us to setting up the alerts and things like that. For the purpose of this tutorial, we won't go into that. You can see the tutorial on the alerts separately. So no, don't need these now, and we can push the device. So now it's reconfiguring the device with a VPN for us. So what you see now on this screen is basically the VPN connections. So we can see it's IP mode, which is layer 3, and it's set up for NAT. Now, as you are logged in, you can click this button and it will download for you to your desktop a connection file, which will allow you with OpenVPN to connect. So if I just go download, you'll see. So it says you can download the connection file here, or if you haven't got the program installed, you can go and see how to install it all here, or if you're even looking for the programs that you can use, you can click this one here. So for Windows, if you're on Google, Apple, and the iStore, the connection file requires a software program. You install the software program once, and then you just need a connection file for every site. If you have, say, a client that wants to connect, you don't want to be downloading this file and sending it to them, because that's your file. So you want to send them a file. So you click the send button. Now I have just two fake ones set up here. This is a portal user and this is just blank. So you can send out by just clicking the send button. You can send out, just enter an email address there, and it will send out to the users. I'll add it to them, and then you can resend it then later if you want. This is the way you would set up. So if you have a client who's not going to have portal access and things like that, just put their email address in here, add it, it'll send it out to them. They just install the little program once off, and then import into it their connection file. The whole importing it and everything is covered in the section, if you go here, the tutorials here, it's all covered there step by step for each of the different types. So that's it. That's what secure mode is. I won't go into showing here how to set it up on your phone or your PC because there are several different versions and there's tutorials to cover that. This is basically just how to set it up on your device. So this device has been reconfigured with that settings now.